Before we get to that interview, though, folks, I do need to tell you about today's sponsor, which is BetOnline. We're back and better than ever. All eyes are on the gridiron as teams are back on for another football season. As always, BetOnline is your number one spot for all of your pro and college football action this year. With a new and updated site and interface, even more odds, props, and contests, BetOnline continues to be the number one source for everything football. Head to their website or use your mobile device to sign up today to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Don't forget to use promo code BELIEVE to receive your bonus. From football, basketball, boxing, right to your favorite Vegas casino games, don't wait to take advantage of all of the amazing offers available for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all of your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts. Lightbox, say goodbye to dull gifts. Lightbox lab-grown diamonds are the brightest gift of the year. Using cutting-edge technology and innovative techniques, we've cracked the science of sparkle, creating the highest quality lab-grown diamonds you can find at a light price, $800 per carat. They have the same chemical makeup of natural diamonds, but just are grown in a lab. Because of their process, they can create stones in blush pink, beautiful blue, as well as classic white. Lightbox lab-grown diamonds are the gift they'll never want to take off, priced so they won't have to. They really do make any outfit sparkle. Visit lightboxjewelry.com to add sparkle to your holiday shopping. That's lightboxjewelry.com. Lightbox diamonds, never a dull moment.
Welcome, everyone, to this College Gridiron Showcase Spotlight interview powered by Frog Fuel. Frog Fuel is designed to be the most powerful protein in the world, developed by former Navy SEALs and a Stanford biochemist. Frog Fuel's medical-grade nanohydrolyzed collagen helps athletes recover faster, reduce injuries, and increase strength better than whey protein. It also digests 4 times faster than whey isolate and is ready to drink without any mixing. Frog Fuel is proudly made in America and produced by OP2 Labs, a veteran-owned nutrition company based in Fort Worth, Texas. And of course, great partnership because we are headed down to Fort Worth, Texas in less than a month here for the College Gridiron Showcase. I am joined by a person that was actually on my radar a few months ago before we sent out the invite to him for the College Gridiron Showcase. I'm joined by Elijah Garcia, who's a very talented defensive lineman out of Rice, who is quietly, in my opinion, been one of the more productive defensive linemen in the conference. And I think of all of college football, honestly, he's had a breakout year from sack production perspective. He's been a guy that's been very productive over the course of his career, but over this year, 67 total tackles, 5 sacks, 6.5 tackle for loss, really put it all together this year, in my opinion, from not only a tackle perspective, but also getting that tackle for loss, that sack production, those disruptive numbers. Elijah, invite you to the show, man. Appreciate you coming in, brother. How's everything been going for you? Everything good?
Oh, yes, sir. No, I appreciate you having me. It's man, this year was a crazy year, just refining my pass rush. So I finally did it, and it felt great, man.
Yeah, no, and I really want to talk to you about that, Elijah. And I kind of want to really use this as a little bit of a journey into your career. I'm going to start you out, with the high school stuff a little bit, but I would really like to say, man, that is the most impressive part of my evaluation of you, is the fact of like that increase in that production. I really want to get heavy into it, but I want to start you out. I kind of went into the background a little bit. I know Stevens High School, you're a San Antonio kid, originally from your hometown there. So I want to ask you just a little bit about high school career and how ultimately you ended up at Rice. Obviously a good institution, playing Conference USA. How did you get to where you are now?
Okay, so it all started out with just bringing home A's and B's. My parents, like, anytime I got a C, they would they would get on me a little bit, like, hey, you got to pick that up. So grades were always a big thing in this household. And coming out of Stevens, I know San Antonio's is probably a little overlooked when it comes to recruiting. Houston and Dallas are probably more hot spots. So I got some great opportunities to go visit Air Force and Rice and UTSA and a couple other places. But ultimately, I was like, man, I can get a world-class education at Rice and, play big-time college football. So, and it was close to San Antonio, only 3 hours away. So I figured it was a no-brainer. And yeah, that's how I ended up at Rice.
I love it, man. I love it. And obviously you're a guy that, I know you had the initial season where I think you played a little bit of football, but it's that red shirt year. But I mean, going right into what was, I guess, 2018 at that point, you're a full-time player and you've been a 4-year contributor on the field for Rice. So just talk to me a little bit about your development as a football player. Obviously, you were a guy that played a lot earlier in your career, but you've just kind of continued to have production, and continue your growth as a player.
Yeah, so I mean, I started out with the Coach Bailiff era at Rice. When Coach Bailiff and his staff was there, and then when Coach Bloomgren came, he brought in his staff and Coach Calhoun, um, my D line coach. He really believed in me. Saw me working out in the off season, saw how much work I was putting in, and he saw my size. So he just sat down and talked to me. He's like, "Hey, man, like I'm giving you the the keys to the car. Like you just got to go." And he put his trust in me, and he's a great coach, and just giving me that starting role. Um, like I said, he knows his stuff, so he definitely helped develop my game into what it is now. And like I feel like I haven't played my best football, so I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah, and that's again one of the biggest things that I'm really excited about was that you had seen a lot of playing time. You would have had tackle production. You've been a mainstay on that defensive line, obviously for years. But this year, I mean, career highs in tackle for loss, sack production. You are now being not only just a continuously consistent football player, but now you're being a very disruptive football player more than in the past. What do you attribute to the increase in that sack production, that tackle for loss production? What made you, in your mind, a more disruptive player this year?
So, I mean, in the years going into it, like I'd been leading the D line and tackles, and like that was something I took a lot of pride in. Like, and just I think sitting down and talking to my dad and Coach Calhoun about it, like I knew this year had to be special. I knew that I had to get my pass rushing numbers up, and I had to get more sacks. And a big part of that was just working on my hands and my hand speed, and just reacting to, or not reacting, but just attacking the O lineman and getting him off balance and then going. A large part of that was also running my feet through contact. I noticed last year or years past that whenever I would get tangled up, I would stop moving my feet. But this year, I just Coach Cowan said, "Hey man, just keep running your feet, keep going through them, stay low, and you're gonna get there." And that's I listened to him, and it paid off in the end.
And I'm a big fan of your game, Elijah, because for me, the body type that you have, I feel like whether a team is an even man front or an odd man front, I feel like you can do so many different roles. Like I could see teams going like, "Hey, we're gonna play in a 1, we're gonna play in a shade at points, we're gonna move you out to a 3, 4, 4 I." Like I feel like you can do so many different things. For people that maybe haven't seen you on film a ton, what are some of the techniques you've played, and what do you feel like are some of your strengths from maybe just a couple of those techniques?
Oh man, I've played all over the line. I can play shade, 5, 4 eye, 3 technique. I want to say my favorite is 3 technique, but all that came through just development and learning the scheme, and I attribute a lot of that to just learning from Coach Calhoun. He told me that the league really likes guys who are really versatile and can play whatever. And I have the size and the speed to do it, and he really put his trust in me. It took some time to learn how to play 5 and the 4 eye more efficiently, but this year, man, I've been in this defense for 4 years now, so I knew, whenever I see a certain backfield set, I'm like, okay, they can only run a certain amount of ways. Especially I'm in the 4 eye, I can just play that cutoff block, or if I'm in a 5, I can just get my pass rush on. But it's really freeing to just play anywhere across the line, and I want to do it at the next level too.
For sure, for sure. And I think another thing that teams are really going to love about you is, in my opinion, because you're, right around 6'5", you're 300 pounds. You have a really clean frame, though. I would love to hear just maybe a little bit of the weight gain that you've had over your career, because I think that, from just a body type perspective, I think you're a guy that could hold 320, 325 pretty easily, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I mean, just at Rice, I mean, we have a great strength and conditioning program, led by Coach Hans Straub. That's where I plan on doing my training for the pro day and the combine. Um, his program's been great. One thing he really emphasizes is just like functional movement. Um, just, a lot of band work, a lot of stretching, just making sure that guys can move well. And that's something I think I can do in my game very well. I've always been able to run, and whenever we're doing runs as a team or as a defense, like, I'm always leading the pack, because that's something I do take pride in, and just staying in that shape. Because I knew this year, especially, man, like, I got, man, at least 800 to 1,000 snaps, so I knew I couldn't get out the game. And I was like, you got to be conditioned, man. And just bringing some of those young guys along, to lead the way. So just running and just being able to move well, I think has been real big in my game.
Mhm. And I would love to hear maybe, and I always like to ask guys like who are some of their dudes that they like to watch a ton from like an NFL perspective. It could be past, present. Who are some guys for you? Because like you said, you've played a lot of different roles all across the defensive line. Like who are some guys that maybe you try to model your game after just to a degree?
Man, I would say Calais Campbell comes to mind first, because that dude's a monster. He's a tall guy like I am. Just seeing him and just listening to, like, some of his interviews, he talks about how he has to play lower sometimes. That's some of the stuff I struggle with, is just playing lower sometimes. But the dude's a monster, man, and I want to, play like him at the next level. So yeah, of course, Aaron Donald too. I mean, that guy's that guy's unreal, man. The way he pass rushes. So
I,
um,
man, I love Aaron Donald because no matter if I'm talking to guys that play mostly on the edge or in the interior full time, it's always Aaron Donald because he's the best in the world right now.
yeah,
So it's I love it, man. So obviously we're excited, Elijah. Again, this is a CGS Spotlight interview powered by Frog Fuel. Check out frogfuel.com for all the latest and great products given out by Frog Fuel. We're excited to get you down to the College Gridiron Showcase, of course, in Fort Worth, Texas. I know, first and foremost, how far is Fort Worth from where you are currently? And maybe just take me through the excitement of getting that invite. Obviously, it's an event that last year CGS put out 12 guys drafted into the NFL, another 70 plus that signed for agent contracts, a growing event. How excited was it just to get that opportunity to showcase your talents in front of what we're expecting 130 plus NFL scouts?
no, man. Anytime I can get in front of some scouts, it's exciting. It's closer. It's one step closer to my dream. And Fort Worth is probably like 5 hours away, so it's not too close to, not too far from home. Um, but no, I'm really excited. And then the thing I really like about it is, I feel like there I can showcase a lot of what I can do, just because of the format. It's not like a full game, so
Yeah.
I feel like I can really shine and get a lot of reps, and show what I can do in a controlled environment. So it's something that I'm really excited for, and my family's going to be there, and yeah, I'm
Yeah.
excited for it.
And we're excited for sure. And I really do like the format of CGS a lot because, like you said, it's not a game. The event, though, we're taking you through, obviously, the field drills, but more importantly, we're talking medical tests. We're talking about measurements, getting all the body typing stuff. We're talking about the ability for you to meet with the teams, which I think is the most paramount. What are some things that you're most excited about, maybe specifically? Like it could be whether talking to teams or just showing off the body type that you have that I think a lot of teams will find really intriguing as well.
Yeah, so my thing is, like, I mean, I know I don't come from a big school, going to Rice, and I feel like um, throughout my career I've been kind of under the radar, and I feel like this event's going to be really eye opening to a lot of people, and just they see my size and see how much work I've put in, this past year or so, and I'm really excited to go against the top talent, and I'm just going to show them, like, I'm better, so I'm excited for it, man. It's going to be real fun. And
Yeah.
of course, talking to scouts too, I can't wait to sit down and have them pick my brain. And I feel like Rice has prepared me for stuff like that, interviews like that. So I'm ready for it, man.
And I know you mentioned that you're gonna be working out at the school, kind of leading up to the event. What are some things, maybe just from a technical perspective, or just from the practice reps perspective, leading up to the event? Like, what are some things that you might be working on that you really want to showcase on the field when you get to do some of the drills?
Just like my bend ability. I can change direction pretty well, and just my pad level and hand placement. I want to showcase all of that. Like, it's ready for the next level, and that's how I feel. So I just want to show all that technical ability that I have, and yeah.
Mhm. And last question I have for you, Elijah, is I'm sure you being a Texas guy, I'm sure, playing in the NFL has probably been a dream for you for a very long time. So, two-part question. One, how long has it been a dream? And number two, I mean, it could be a reality here in just a few months. What's it going to be like? What type of blessing is it when you can finally call yourself a professional athlete?
Man, I've been playing this game since I was like 6, 7 years old. So it started out in the backyard, my dad just, throwing the ball around, doing just whatever, just drills and whatever. And like, man, I love this game. And, being able to play at the top level, like would be a dream come true, not only for me, but like for my family. And they've seen how much work I've put in and, all the memories, all the people I've met along the way. Like it's football is not just a game to me, it's really life, man. Like I love this game and I love everything in it and the opportunities it's given me. And the only way I feel like to do it right is just by giving back, giving it my all. So, playing at the highest level, that's going to be amazing, man. I can't wait.
I love it. I love it. Again, we're going to have Elijah Garcia down to the College Gridiron Showcase here in less than a month. This is a College Gridiron Showcase Spotlight interview powered by Frog Fuel. Elijah, really appreciate you, man. Look forward to meeting you in just a few weeks, brother. Best of luck moving forward here, but I'll see you down in Fort Worth in a few months, man. I mean,
Yes.
in a month, I should
Yeah.
say.
Yes, sir. All right. Thanks so much, Ryan.